Good morning, everybody. I know I'm doing a live stream on a Friday, but since I did not do one yesterday, I figured I'll do it live today. Hope you are all doing well. I am feeling a bit better, so I appreciate all of your thoughts and prayers for me throughout the last couple days. Just a very bad stomach bug that was not pleasant at all to deal with. I have switched, of course, to liquid. So drinking things like Gatorade, Jello, all of that wonderful, magnificent stuff. Weather. That's what we're doing next. Oh, I'm out of practice, I guess you could say. It is currently a brisk 43 degrees in the great metropolis of Brandon, Iowa. It feels like 39. It feels like 36 if you're in the shade. Air quality is fair. It could reach up to 57 for a high today, and then back down to 38 for a low. We had a frost warning this morning, so seems like summer may have finally gone away. We might have one last hurrah for some good weather tomorrow, high of 67. And then Sunday, 47 with a low below freezing. Monday, the low is right at freezing. Looking ahead, 50s and 60s. So it looks like it's freezing when the sun goes down and brisk when the sun is up. So I think fall is finally upon us. Come on. There we go. All right. For those of you just joining us or just making this your first visit, welcome. We are revisiting Adam Hamilton's Living Unafraid. Throughout the month of October, we are dealing with the issue of fear. And so this is day 8, Be Strong and Courageous. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not fail you or forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you shall put this people in possession of the land that I swore to their ancestors to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, being careful to act in accordance with all the law that my servant Moses commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, so that you may be successful wherever you go. I hereby command you, be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. That is from Joshua chapter 1, verses 5 through 9. By Joshua chapter 1, verse 5, Moses was dead, and the mantle of leadership had fallen to his protege, Joshua. The children of Israel were camped on the east side of the Jordan River, opposite the heavily fortified city of Jericho. In the book's opening words, God repeatedly said to Joshua, "Be strong and courageous." Joshua was about to lead a raging band of former slaves and sheep and shepherds into war. God had promised their ancestor Abraham that his descendants would one day possess this land. But as Joshua looked at the people around him and considered the fortified city of Jericho with its massive walls, the chances of victory in battle seemed very small. Much earlier in life, Joshua had entered the land of Canaan as a spy, exploring its walled cities. Of the 12 spies that surveyed the land, only he and Caleb believed the Israelites could take it. The other 10 spies said that while it was a beautiful country flowing with milk and honey, there was no way the Israelites could conquer it, for the people in the land were much larger and more powerful than the Israelites. That had been nearly 40 years earlier, but Joshua still remembered the cities and the men of large stature he'd seen when he snuck out into their land. Was Joshua in fact about to lead the Israelites on a march to their death as they crossed the Jordan River? Certainly some of their number would die in battle. I recently visited the beaches of Normandy, where in June 1944 the Allied forces landed and began driving the Nazis to defeat. Standing at the Normandy American Cemetery, where nearly 9,400 American soldiers are buried, I couldn't help but imagine the fear these men must have felt as their ships approached the landing beaches. Many of them were just 18 or 19 years old. Some found strength in their belief that their lives belonged to God, and that death doesn't get the final word. Joseph Vahi Jr. was among them. A Catholic officer, he led the men in his landing craft in the Lord's Prayer before they disembarked. He noted in an interview with the Catholic Standard, "When I went into Normandy, I had absolutely no fear, because I knew God, and I knew He would look after me. If He wanted me, that would be it." Not everyone can muster up such resolve in the face of fear, which is why Joshua needed to be encouraged by God on ancient Israel's D-Day. And the courage and strength Joshua received would go on to inspire God's people to victory. In Unafraid, I mentioned the definition of courage that has been helpful to me. It has been said in various ways by various people, but it is always some variation of, courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to do the right thing despite your fears. Are you facing a battle that you know you must fight? A battle that God has called you to, but that leaves you truly afraid? If God has called you, then God goes with you. That doesn't mean the battle will be easy. It wasn't for Joshua, nor for the men who fought at Normandy. It does mean He's got a hold of you and will not let you go. God's pep talk to Joshua, as he prepared to lead the Israelites into battle, involved two things: keeping God's commandments and remembering that God would be with him wherever he went. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left. Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Have you ever known what the right thing to do is, but had to face great trials, great adversity to do so? We live in a society where sometimes, unfortunately to say, doing the right thing is the more difficult option. So we sometimes might give in to fear. Sometimes those things can haunt us. Sometimes the fact that we had an opportunity to do right and gave into our fear, that burns us. It feels like a weight we're carrying. Today, let us take a moment and lift that weight. Give that weight to God. Ask for forgiveness for failing to act when we needed to act. And then, in the future, when we are faced with those moments where we are unsure of what to do, when we are faced with those moments when fear seems to prevent us from doing the thing that we need to do, take a moment and pray. And remember that if we walk with God, He will strengthen us. If we walk with God, not even death has power over us. If we walk with God, we will always be on the right side. As we go into our prayers, and you have your daily prayers, I'd ask that we continue to keep Don Haitian in our prayers. He is not doing well. Also keep Denise Lehman in our prayers. And keep, as always, those who are being affected by the COVID-19 in our prayers. Let us continue to hope that we will see the end of this. Let us continue to push forth to the moment when we will be able to sing in church without our masks on. Let us continue to support those who have faced great loss at the hands of this virus. And now I'm going to offer the prayer from the end of the chapter. Lord, there are many times when I am afraid. In my fear, help me not to turn away from your path, but rather to walk in it each day. Help me find strength and courage by trusting that you are with me now and always. Amen. Just a reminder that Mondays and Tuesdays Percolator will be pre-recorded. I have Orders of Fellowship event those 2 days, so I will not be able to be here live, and those are all-day events, so I will be indisposed throughout most of the day. So if you're trying to call me and I'm not answering, that's why. Other than that, I hope to see many of you on Sunday. I will be extra socially distant, making sure I don't stay any longer than I absolutely have to. Again, this is not the virus. It was just a stomach bug, but it was unpleasant enough that I do not wish it on anyone. So I will be seemingly aloof on Sunday. I don't want to offend anyone, but I just don't want to put anyone through what I went through the last couple days. So, other than that, I hope you are all doing well, and I will see you all when I see you. Have a good day. Have a good weekend.